Hello from Gardening at Dwensa, and from me, Rachel. My name is Rachel, and my life has moved into a surreal realm just recently. I have to tell you that my Joshy, my 16-year-old son, has died, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But I wanted to talk a little bit about afterwards, really, and I felt really bad, in a bad place. I was in a really bad place afterwards, and in terms of my plants and my garden, I felt that I would get some satisfaction from just watching them die, from watching them droop and then go brown and then turn to dust. And I felt like that for a little bit, but then I realised that life is always the answer. It's never death, and plants have that wonderful therapeutic effect on us. Now, I must say that it does feel like I'm moving through treacle at the moment. Everything just seems so very, very difficult, and it reminds me of a funny story, a funny incident just before everything happened, when I was trying to divide some Sarracenia for a video, and Dimitri was here, and we were trying to get it together. And there are a whole series of dependencies that you need to rely on if you're going to make a video. First of all, you need to go out and you have to make sure that the area doesn't look like a car crash. You have to tidy it up, so that was done. And then, of course, I'm in Ireland. We always need a bit of sunshine for the videos, so we had to look out for that. I bought the peat, and that was a chore in itself, because Dimitri is a great one for reminding me of ecological responsibility and the fact that peat is a non-renewable source, but Sarracenia do need peat. So we got the peat and the horticultural grit and brought it back home, and then I noticed that the grit looked really dodgy. It was Westland, a brand I'd used before, and horticultural grit is supposed to be pH neutral because Sarracenia need acidic soil, obviously. So I decided we needed to do a test on it. More messing, more getting a soil tester kit. Tested the horticultural grit, and it was way acidic. Couldn't be used, which was a real problem because it's the only brand of horticultural grit you can buy around here. So there was another drive off to a garden centre a half an hour away from here to buy the same brand again, presuming that the first one had been contaminated in some way. I know I'm rambling, bear with me. So we bought the horticultural grit, the second lot, and brought it back and retested, and guess what? It was just as alkaline as the first. So there was no Sarracenia dividing to be done that day. And yeah, went into Bunclody to try and buy some play sand to use instead, and they didn't have it in. It wouldn't be there until next week. And you know, this is the whole kind of series of dependencies that happens when you do gardening, and that's a very extreme case. It's not usually that bad, but it can be. But just at the moment, it feels like everything I want to do is that bad. Like I have to pot up dahlias in the greenhouse, and I can't find big pots, and it's just like, oh, how am I ever going to manage? And of course, I know it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, but it's like moving through treacle and looking out for that sunny day. And I just have to say, we were sitting inside, and the sunshine comes out, and that's what you do in Ireland. When the sunshine comes out, you have to jump out and you have to do something. And Dimitri says, Rachel, sunshine. So we're stepping out, and this is impressive to start with because he actually knew how to pronounce my name. I've known French speakers for more than 30 years who still can't pronounce my name the English way, so hats off to him. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's all I really want to say and to communicate with you. But one thing that I have found really, really useful and really, really helpful is going out and working in the garden again. And anybody who has a garden and works in the garden will know that there is something really beneficial about the soil. Now, I don't mean peat. I don't mean the stuff, the compost you buy, which is mostly peat in garden centres. I mean the real stuff, the stuff that we come from and the stuff that eventually we'll go back to. There's supposed to be some kind of bacteria, some kind of microbe in it. And I'm not going to parrot semi-science I've read on the internet. If I can find some links, I'll put them in the details of this video. But for anyone who has really gardened, you know what I'm talking about. You know what it's like to get down and get your hands into the soil and to breathe it in, and how it helps. It really does help. Working in the garden, not sitting in the garden. Don't sit in the garden. Don't pot up plants with compost. Go and work with the soil. I think it's what we're supposed to do deep down, basically. Somewhere very deep in our genes that we've forgotten about. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say really, and just to say that I will be making videos, plant videos again now. I'm starting again, but not with the same frequency I had before. It'll be slow, and also by virtue of the fact that I'm behind with my gardening, so I need to concentrate on doing that rather than making videos, which you have no idea how much time it costs. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me such lovely messages, to John Greco in Barcelona, to Roger for his lovely video. I read all the wonderful comments underneath. They were super. And to John Benedict, the first one to put up his very uplifting video about me, and to Sharon Short, who showed me those beautiful flowers, and they helped a lot, and lots and lots of other people who sent me messages. I'm not going to be replying to comments on videos, or and perhaps you'll forgive me if you send me a message and I don't get around to replying. But that's all, and thank you for watching, and take strength from your plants, from your garden, from your soil, and from your children if you have them.